As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being. Carl Jung. When we hear about remarkable individuals, Leonardo da Vinci, Sigmund Freud, Albert Einstein, William Shakespeare, Nelson Mandela, we often feel inadequate. Their lives seem bursting with meaning. How could ours possibly compare? But the purpose of life, according to Carl Jung, has nothing to do with what you achieve. It has to do with who you are and how you act. Jung believed that the entire human experience can be understood through the psyche, which includes both conscious and unconscious elements. At the center of our conscious mind, everything we're aware of, sits the ego. But there is so much more outside of the ego that we do not acknowledge. Deep in the unconscious, the parts of ourselves we don't see, resides the shadow, our hidden, darker side. According to Jung, discovering your purpose starts here. This is because the purpose of your life is not something objective or universal. It is something unique to you. It's personal. And the key to that personal purpose lies in the unconscious. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who founded analytical psychology, often referred to as Jungian philosophy. He authored numerous influential works, including The Psychology of the Unconscious, Man and His Symbols, The Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious, Modern Man in Search of a Soul, Memories, Dreams, Reflections, and more. In this video, we'll walk through the steps Jung believed would help you use your dark side to discover your life's purpose. Number 1. Get to know your darkness. Jung once said, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." Everyone's life purpose is different, shaped by who you are and what you desire. That means you can't know your purpose until you truly know yourself. And though most of us think we know who we are, our strengths, weaknesses, preferences, true self-awareness is much deeper. To really know yourself, you must undergo what Jung called self-realization. Every person is made of conscious and unconscious parts, the things we know and the things we hide. Our shadow is that unconscious side that holds repressed emotions, urges, and traits. It might contain your anger, envy, laziness, or interests you've buried out of shame. Because it's unconscious, your shadow operates in the background, long forgotten, never acknowledged. Instead, we often over-identify with the persona, the social mask we wear to fit in, to be liked. You might have a different mask for every situation, one at work, another at home. Shadow work means intentionally reconnecting with your hidden self. This can involve journaling, meditating, or regularly reflecting on your thoughts and behavior. Ask yourself, why did I react that way? Did it feel honest? Was it instinctual? How would I feel if the roles were reversed? This practice turns self-examination into a daily habit. Jung emphasized, understanding your shadow doesn't mean becoming it. For instance, if your shadow contains anger, it doesn't mean you're an angry person. It means you carry anger. Acknowledge it. Don't deny or suppress it. Your shadow also reveals itself through judgment. Often, the traits we criticize in others reflect the traits we repress in ourselves. This is called projection. If someone's selfishness makes you irrationally angry, perhaps you're hiding your own selfish thoughts. If impatience in others frustrates you, maybe you're denying your own. Probing these reactions can expose your hidden sides. Over time, regular shadow work makes the unconscious more conscious. You get to know yourself more fully. And since the self constantly evolves, shadow work is never finished. It's a lifelong practice. Number 2, work on yourself. Jung said, "I don't aspire to be a good man. I aspire to be a whole man." When you uncover your shadow and confront uncomfortable truths about yourself, it can feel overwhelming. You might even feel worse, now fully aware of all your flaws. Jung acknowledged that true self-realization is painful. It's terrifying to see yourself fully, without filters. Most people assume hiding their dark traits is a sign of strength. Isn't the gentle person the one who suppresses the anger? Isn't the most productive person the one who ignores laziness? Maybe, but not always. Repression doesn't erase traits. It empowers them. Unacknowledged anger turns into explosive outbursts. Ignored laziness turns into burnout. Repressed traits fester. So now that you see them, you can begin to work with them. The key is to use your shadow traits rather than let them rule you. Anger, for instance, isn't inherently bad. When someone wrongs you, anger can help you speak up. The question is, when should you express it? When is it better to hold back? Ask yourself these kinds of questions regularly. Look at emotions as tools, not as good or bad. Envy can push you to achieve. Laziness can remind you to rest. Impatience can fuel action. The trick is context. Instead of rejecting your shadow, integrate it. It's not here to shame you. It's here to teach you. Only by embracing your hidden sides can you become truly whole. Integration doesn't mean glorifying your flaws. It means understanding them and choosing how to use them. This is how you grow. And growth, ongoing, committed self-improvement, is one of the clearest paths to finding your life's meaning. When you use all of yourself, the full range of your psyche, you begin to understand not just who you are, but what you need to do. Number 3, take action. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Carl Jung. Once you've come to know yourself and integrated your shadow, there's still one final step: action. Jung believed self-realization isn't just an internal process. It must be expressed through behavior. Words and intentions mean little without follow-through. You can say you're kind, driven, or creative, but unless you act like it, it's not real. That means you can't live reactively, always waiting for the world to prompt you. You must take initiative. Don't wait for friends. Reach out to people. Don't wait for the promotion. Go after it. Don't wait for your life to feel meaningful. Create meaning through what you do. Even people committed to self-work often stay stuck in reactivity. They feel that introspection alone is enough. But after shadow work, action is what brings transformation. So how do you live actively? By constantly challenging yourself. Ask, what do I believe in? What principles matter to me? What are my goals for this year? For the next 5? What kind of impact do I want to have? Write about it. Reflect. Your answers will point toward what to do. Say you want to be an author. Many do, but few actually write. They wait for inspiration, for the right time. They wait passively, but a serious writer writes regularly, regardless of mood. They seek advice when stuck. They finish their work through discipline, not just motivation. They reach out to agents and take real steps toward publication. Not all meaning is career-based. Maybe your purpose is to support the next generation. That can manifest in many ways. Being a parent, teacher, mentor, activist, or politician. It's your job to decide the form and to take action. You can survive in reactive mode, but you won't find meaning there. Meaning requires doing. Number 4, embrace fear. Where your fear is, there is your task. Carl Jung. Why do so many of us stay reactive? It's not always laziness or apathy. More often it's fear. Taking action means taking risks. Writing that book means facing potential failure. Submitting it for publication means opening yourself up to rejection. And anything meaningful you do carries the risk of it going wrong. But that's where bravery comes in. Not absence of fear, acknowledgement of it. If a task overwhelms you, pause and ask, what am I afraid of? What could go wrong? How could I handle it? This is how fear is tamed, by preparation. But preparation is not the same as anxiety. Don't spiral into worst-case scenarios. Focus only on what's likely, not what's possible. For instance, if you want to publish a book, expect rejections. But also be ready to meet the right agent. Don't fixate on people stealing your work or mocking your effort. Those fears are rarely rooted in reality. By analyzing your fear and preparing for it, you remove much of its power. Some fear may remain, but once you've done your prep, there's only one thing left to do: leap. That leap is where bravery lives. And with bravery, meaning begins. And finally, number 5, accept the bad. In our final quote from Jung for this video, he says, "Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness." Let's see. You know yourself. You're always improving yourself. You're taking actions and taking risks. Is this the recipe to a perfect life? Not exactly. No one's life is perfect. Not even the most admired, influential people in the world. In fact, many of them have gone through some of the most painful hardships imaginable. And this is not a coincidence. The people who do the most, who create, build, lead, and inspire, are usually the ones who take the biggest risks. And risk doesn't just bring reward. It brings the possibility of failure, disappointment, and grief. That's why accepting the bad in life isn't optional. It's essential. In fact, it's the very thing that gives meaning to everything else. Think about it. If life was always easy, always joyful, then joy would stop meaning anything at all. You can't experience true happiness unless you've also felt sadness. You can't savor triumph unless you've tasted defeat. Just as there's no light without shadow, there's no purpose without pain. So when life hurts, you have a choice. You can despair, or you can reframe. You can say, this hurts, but whatever joy I feel next, it will be deeper, more vibrant, more real. And there's more. Because hardship doesn't just shape your emotional landscape, it reveals who you are. Every setback, every failure, every moment of heartbreak teaches you something. Maybe it shows you that you're more resilient than you thought. Maybe it uncovers a flaw you never noticed. Either way, it adds to your self-understanding and your shadow work. Nobody realizes they need to be more grounded until they've felt unmoored. Nobody learns they're strong until they've been truly tested. Every bad moment has something to show you, if you're willing to look. Say your novel gets rejected by every publisher, or you leave your stable job to chase a dream, and it doesn't work out. It hurts. But now you know how to handle rejection. You know what matters to you enough to take a risk. You've gained clarity, courage, and a deeper connection with your purpose. Because here's the thing. Your life's meaning isn't tied to the outcome. It's not about whether you become a published author, or a famous artist, or a successful entrepreneur. Jung believed the meaning lies in the journey, in what you learn, how you grow, and who you become along the way. So even if you don't reach the finish line, you've done something extraordinary. You took the leap. You became the kind of person who takes action. But adding meaning to your life never ends. You have to keep growing, keep discovering, keep stumbling and rising again. You'll keep adding meaning to your life, not in a single big breakthrough, but in thousands of small moments of courage, honesty, and effort. Your life is not defined by perfection. It's defined by your unique mix of disappointment and joy, failure and effort, darkness and light. So be proud of what you've tried. Be grateful for what you've achieved. No matter how small, keep going. Because as long as you're striving to be the best version of yourself, your life already has purpose. Now I want you to share in the comments. What are the risks you've taken recently that freed you or changed your life? Your story might encourage someone else to take their leap. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.